Let's see. There we go. There we go. Let's see. Need to open up. Gosh. So behind. Let's see. Let's see. What have we have here? What do we have here? Let's see if I move this here. I need to see if YouTube sent out any notifications. It seems like that's not doing very well these days either. Duration. Let's try that. No, I do not want your family plan. Well, I don't know if a notification went out, but it's definitely showing here. And let's do that. The Discord link up. Let's open up the game. I did get all my reputation so I can open up the Volpera, but unfortunately I do not know when my daughter's going to be done with the movie, so I'm going to have to wait. I'll either do that in a live or I'll record it and upload the video. I haven't decided which, but I'm not going to start it and then have to stop halfway through it. So, play a little music, see if anybody wants to come in and talk. Wyatt would be here, but he's still having computer issues. Maybe he'll jump into Discord and have a chat with us soon. What to do, what to do. I think what to do. Oh, I need to run everybody through the Dark Moon Fair. So let's start with that. And we'll go to the game screen. There we go. Happy Friday, everybody. I was so happy to get off work today. Oh my goodness. CBS News, travel fears against coronavirus. You know, I don't know if you can see, I have a brand new thing of Clorox wipes here. I need to send to my son, not because we're worried about him getting sick, but because he needs to be able to clean his area, and Clorox wipes kind of the easiest way for him to do it in his barracks, and can't even buy them at Sam's online. They were out the other day when Emma Mama was kind enough to check for me. And Amazon was out of stock. Evidently, it seems locally here we're having problems with hand sanitizer. Good thing I buy these little hand sanitizers at Bath & Body Works. Every time I go in, I buy like 5 of them. I don't know, you get 5 of them for a certain price, something like that. But I'll tell you, if you're not already cleaning your hands and stuff, you're going to catch it like you catch the flu. Seriously. I need to go to Unplugged. And I know I cut Tuesday's stream short. We were going to talk about fear-mongering and didn't have anybody show up for a conversation, really. So another friend of mine said I should have done it anyway. And they're probably right. So next time, I'll probably next Tuesday I will do that topic. And if nobody shows up, I'll either go ahead and talk about it, or I'll do a video talking about it. Because I think that this virus scare that I think is being blown a little bit out of proportion is definitely a good example of fear-mongering. I could just fly. I can take, I don't know what I'm doing. I took my daughter out to dinner. It was no meat Friday for us, so, because we're Catholic, so she wanted to do noodle company, so we went there, get mac and cheese, and while we were there, I apologize for my camera bouncing around. I am going to get a mount to mount my new monitor to that also has a platform thing for my laptop, because it has a very thin stand that it's on, and so the monitor wobbles, and because I'm too animated. So I apologize for any wobbling it does until I get that. But anyway, we were at dinner and she got a text from a friend of hers that used to live in our neighborhood but now lives about 20 minutes away. And she was like, "Hey, you should go to the movie with us. I'll even set you up with some boy." So Samantha was mentioning it to me. And I said, okay. So I had to go get gas. We had to pick up the big dog so that she wasn't locked up too long, because she's borrowing my lemon's cage when we have to cage them up when we're gone, so that she doesn't make a mess. And what is she doing now? Matter of fact, I hear her in there doing something. Sky! I hope she's behaving, but probably not. She might be chewing on her bone. Are you being good? Huh? You being a good girl? Are you? Are you being a good girl? I sure hope so, because Samantha doesn't really want you making a mess in there. She done a pretty good job of vacuuming today, which is unusual. I don't have anything there. Looks like I have a quest to turn in here. No, you're not getting more food right now. When I go get Samantha and I come back, I'll give everybody some more food. I think we need to spread yours out a little more because you seem to want to eat all the time. So we go fishing, and I have to get some flour. Oh, let's see. What else can we listen to? Let's see if this is. I'll give it a minute. Gosh, it's crowded fishing here. What's up with that? Oh, I gotta put my bobber on. Come on. Put the boat bobber. Hi, Skylar. I don't know what you're looking for, but you're no, don't chew that off the refrigerator, please. We'll give you guys the knuckles this weekend, I promise. No, I know you smell it. No, you're not getting that right now. I'm not real thrilled with this sound. It's kind of almost too repetitious. Let's see, Lonely Trouble. I think we've done that one. Let's see. The boy's got skills. Seems like I don't know. I'm not so hip on this person. Let's try this one. How many more do I need? Oh, I don't need any more, but that's okay. Oh, and I just fell in the water. Okay, good. She's laying in a chair. She rides so well in the car, too. Other than the fact that she's nosy. What were you boys doing while we were gone that you're so pooped? So, anybody likes any of this music we're listening to, it's all a product of YouTube audio library, so feel free to go and explore it for yourself. I should probably look up that movie. Let's see, Arnold. I think is it? Yeah. Oh, it is Marcus there. They were a little wrong about the time the movie starts. It started at 6:45, and they told her 7. That's not nice. Oh, maybe they figured the ads. 8. It'll be 9 o'clock. 4, it's over, I think. Looks like it anyway. Oh, somebody's got the mouse! Chase the little mouse! Oh, please don't jump off of there and kill the mouse. That would not be nice. Good, you decided not to jump off and kill the mouse. Oh, somebody popped the tent right in the middle of the walkway. Must be a new toy. Oh. Okay, turn that in. Throw the frogs in the pot. I breaded them and now I'm gonna throw them in the pot. Of course, that pot's got green liquid in it. I don't know how good that's gonna taste. Let's see. Was all the quests I think I have on this. What am I, a leather worker? I don't think my leather worker is high enough to get a quest. Oh, not yet. Nope. Next. Oh, I should have opened that box, see if there was anything good in there. Let's see. Warlock. Oh, it's pretty good. Let's try another one of his. Loading screen, why your tag so long? Alright, let's be freaky and use the dollar on her stone. Tomorrow we will have Maria for our true crime discussion at 10 a.m. Should be an interesting one. Something's been happening, and we're listening to a new case that is currently in trial. Moon Fair lady, send me to the Dark Moon Fair. I got a message, YO. Oh, I don't know why I'm typing. You're in here. God. You hear me? Oh, okay.
Because you silenced your microphone.
Well, I silenced it because there's no sense in me having my open mic in it when plus I don't want people sneaking in listening to me do whatever. I don't know. I'm doing it on camera. I guess it doesn't matter, but you know.
It's a live
It's
stream.
the principle of the thing, you know. No, I haven't run my tunes through the Dark Moon Fair quests yet. You know, that little bit of bump you get in your professions is help that I desperately need.
Gotcha.
But I'm willing to. We could do world quests. We could do. I don't know. We could take our bigger tunes and go do some stupid LFRs. I don't care. It's Friday. I'm playing some YouTube audio music and just chilling until I have to go pick up Samantha. Probably about an hour and a half. But I am more than willing to do the Volpera. I have to do the quest line. Like you already did that though, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I want to record. I want to record mine, but I didn't want to start it now and then like get in the middle of it and have like Samantha could call me, go, Mom. You know, like I don't. I want you to come pick me up. You know how that goes.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Her friend's supposed to be setting her up with some little boy. So I say little, but you know they're 14.
Yeah.
They're, you know.
Yeah. Technically, it still is little.
Yes, but once you hit that god awful puberty, takes things to the next level.
This is true. So that monk, Volpera monk that I started working on, I got it to 45.
Holy
at night.
Moly! That night?
That night.
What the hell?
Insta queues on dungeons kind of help.
Are you healing with? No, you're tanking with that
I'm
one.
tanking.
The only problem when you're leveling with a monk tank, like lower levels, if you don't get a good healer sometimes, you can bite the dust pretty quickly, unfortunately. That's the one thing that always used to tick me off.
Yeah, I've kind of gotten lucky. I've only had 2 healers kill me.
Yes, you have gotten very lucky because... Oh, I must be on a jewel crafting quest.
One of them, everybody called me sassy because I typed in the message, "Hey healer, you ready to heal?" when I was getting ready to do the next boss. Well, the healer killed me 3 times already by trying to do nothing but damage and not heal me. So far, so
you know what happens? I find this happens a lot with monks, right? You and I both know you get a really good monk, and whether it be DPS, tank, or heals, and they're really good, right? And they're geared, and they know how to play. Their numbers are going to be high, unless they're terribly nerfed, right? And the really good healers can do really good DPS and heal, and the really good tanks can do good DPS and tank. It's all a matter of you get the right pieces of gear, you take the right talents, right? What happens, I find, this is my theory, that people when they're leveling, they come across a twink tune like them, or something like that, and they're like, because you and I'll run across them, and then we're like, oh my gosh, what gear they got, what are they doing, are they twinking? Like, we're looking for the right things, but they're like, oh my gosh, I can be doing this. So they just like start trying to do damage because they saw this healer do all this damage, and then everybody's dying, and they're like, well, I just watched so and so do it, so it should work. I mean, I really
Yeah,
think
that's
that's
the
what they
worst.
do. It's the only thing that makes any sense to me. Because it's crazy. I've seen so many people do stupid things like that. Disc priests will do that too. And they can, if they got the gear and they know what they're doing and they take the right stuff, they can
Yeah, I
do
can
good
do
heals
decent
and
damage while
good
healing.
DP and do good DPS. And they know, like,
Well,
well,
heck,
you and I
great
know
thing
how to
with them
stack our
is if
numbers,
they
right?
do it
Like on
right, they
certain.
can do their damage is actually healing. So
Well, and you and I both know that if you know how to stack your stuff, right? Like, I do it on my hunter all the time. I can stack my cooldowns, right? And just on a fight that I know will take very little time, and to beat somebody that has a build-up DPS, I can do it all. I can do a really huge burst at the very beginning of a fight if I have all my cooldowns and
yeah,
knock that out. And then somebody's going to go, oh my gosh, somebody's really good. Somebody sees that and they think, ooh, I should be able to do that. And they think, I should be able to do that all the time. And they don't learn how to play their character right.
well, then you also see the people that always post the insane format that worked that 1 out of 100 times too.
Well, and then I saw a post. Was it a post or was it in chat? It might have been like in general chat or something. Somebody's like, yeah, you know why I post my DPS meter in random dungeons when I'm leveling? Because I can. And I'm like, yep, and that makes you an idiot. Nobody gives a shit about that when you're leveling. If people aren't dying, I mean, honest to goodness,
Well, as soon as anybody even starts to even think about that is level 60.
You know what? None of
Started
it
to
matters.
actually
If you're
look at
leveling, let's face it, if you are
her.
leveling, that shit does not matter. As long as you're not dying, like, as long as the group is succeeding to kill things and the whole group's not wiping, it's no skin off my nose.
Yeah,
It's when everybody's wiping because
people that
somebody's
need to
doing
know.
something stupid, and that costs me repairs, and I'm getting poor, especially since I bought the spider mount.
You'd be in my boat.
Yeah, and after, when the expansion drop, probably when the pre-patch drops, we won't be able to buy the Brutosaurus mount either, which kind of upsets me because I'm never going to hit that mark.
No, nor am I.
Which makes me sad. Although, maybe there will come a time where I become rich and I can buy a bunch of tokens and, I can retire and build up my gold stash, and then I can get it on the black auction house. Black auction house.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the black market. Maybe that's why I was mixing the two up. But,
Yeah.
It's like the underground of buying and selling. I just, it just makes me sad because I really, I like to try to collect all that stuff. But that'll be one that will be outside of my reach.
Yeah, I'm getting ready this weekend. I'm gonna start buying camping and fishing equipment.
Good for you. You're gonna let your daughters teach you how to fish?
They might.
Right? Well, what is it? The 28th of this month? I think that's when we're going to the normal day tour at the state prison that we're doing the overnight at. We're taking the kid. Well, I'm not taking both my kids because one of them is, not here.
Yeah.
But the other one is going, and my husband's going, and Maria's going, and I think she's only bringing her daughter though. But I hope it's good. I would like to get the historical background. We're only doing the 2-hour tour. There's a 3-hour tour that goes more in depth with the historical stuff, but Maria told me she didn't think that, her kids would be interested in a 3-hour tour.
3-hour tour is a long tour.
You know what? If you're learning stuff and you're interested in it, I mean, come on. Here I am. We're going to spend the night at that place. I want to know what possibly could be going on.
Yeah. In that case, the 3-hour tour would be worth it.
I mean, I'm paying an awful lot of money to spend the night, in some spooky place that, probably nothing will happen, but, you can always still spook yourself out,
That's usually what happens with most people when they get scared.
Right. Problem is, knowing Maria, she'll take me to the ends of the earth where nobody's at in the back of the property or something, and, we'll have some freaky incident happen, and that's my luck, like that's my luck.
Funny,
God bless it. Now I'm stuck inside this fence. There we go.
I'll have fun laughing hearing this story.
Oh, you know it. Well, I'm hoping. Ideally, I would like to do, some semblance, maybe a half hour of a live while I'm there. Just, kind of talk it up. Maybe let everybody kind of see it while we're there, and then, record the rest of it. But, there's no telling what's going to happen. So that, my plans don't always work out. So you just never know. Okay, I can turn this one in. So, is it working fine, or is it just a temporary patch, do you think, with your card and stuff?
I'm going to stick with temporary patch until it proves otherwise.
Gotcha.
Because I completely deleted the game and reinstalled it along with everything else.
I hate when you have to do that. Well, especially since I got so much settings, and I never get it back exactly the way I had it, which always ticks me off.
Yeah, I keep my settings pretty basic, so it doesn't take me too long to get everything set back up.
Yeah, well, you know me. I am not a basic kind of gal.
Sure.
So I'm logging off and Moonfang shows up. Isn't that great?
Well, I would say I'm in the middle of a race, but I just somehow got kicked off my mount.
A race? What kind of race?
Oh, the Dark Moon Fair race.
Oh, I have not tried that yet. As I know what's going to happen. I want to get the big achievement for it. And I will not first go around. And you know how I get. I'll be like, listen, I'm going to get this. And 5 hours later, still investigating the best way I can get it done.
Yep.
Sometimes persistence is the key.
I think I've gotten all those achievements. I don't really bother with them anymore. I just do it for the quest.
Well, I don't have that achievement, and I think you get a toy or something when you get that achievement.
I can't remember.
I'm pretty sure. I remember when it came out, which is funny because I usually always try everything. So far, there's 2 things I haven't tried yet. That, and I never tried the. No, I did try the Mage Towers, and I said, "Ooh, I got to get some more gear and come back with a better battle plan," and I never did.
Those mage towers were hard.
I could have done the Hunter one had I buckled down. I didn't buckle down though. I may as well go turn this quest in, I guess, while I'm here. Get it out of my bag.
Yeah.
Not that my bags ever fill up.
No, never.
Right.
Since you're always only allowed to put like 2 pieces in every day. What? They can't fill up if they're already full.
It all goes to my mailbox. Come on now, it all goes to my mailbox. The mailbox never gets full. However, you only have 30 days to claim it, so you have to figure out what to do with your stuff. I did not have an enjoyable day today either.
Oh yeah?
Well, as much as people are complaining that the virus thing, people are taking it kind of over the top, which I'm not disagreeing with that. There are things that has become over the top. However, being that we do a lot of business that has to come out of China, and we know what's going on the inside there because we have employees there. Our stuff's not moving, right? And because our stuff is not moving, I'm not getting a lot of invoices, which
slow days.
Well, when you're paying invoices and that's your job. So, I mean, I have had time to work on cleaning up some messes that I have discovered, and finally, like, one of them is one of our carriers that they randomly apply our credits after a certain amount of time that they're sitting on our account. The problem is they never tell us we have the credits sitting there. So we never have the opportunity to tell them what to do with it or to track down the fact that they actually misapplied our payments, which is what it is. And so now that I have the time and actually got somebody who's willing to sit down and figure it out with me, we're tracking back to 2016.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, and it's like I actually called it the Bermuda Triangle of our account because I feel like it's like I'd find one thing and I'd ask them to reverse the way that they applied it and apply the payment properly, and then something comes up, not paid, right? So then they reverse something else, and it's just like continual. And then they're like, well, you owe this. Then I'm like, no, we paid this on this payment, and I send them a snapshot, from our system, and then they're like, okay, we find, after 5 emails about that, then they're like, okay, we finally found this payment. Okay, yes, it was applied. It was applied incorrectly, blah, and then I finally got him to the point where he's like, okay, we are not reversing anymore because we're just falling into a hole, which I knew we were going to because they've misapplied so many things, right? And so the last statement he gave me with all of our credits, I mean, I at least have him now. He's guaranteed me that every week he's going to send me an updated spreadsheet that has the credits that are sitting there so I can say, okay, this one's not valid, this, blah, blah, blah. This is how this should have been applied so that we're not having to go back, 4 years. But they I took the spreadsheet and I put all the backup on it and explanation, like, no, we paid this. Here's what it shows in the system. That equals 0. Like, we paid what the amount we were supposed to. I don't know where this credit's from, that kind of stuff. I mean, at the end of the day, I think there's one where I show we owe $10, and then there's another one where I think they might owe us a $10 credit or a $20 credit or something. So it's actually almost a complete wash. But we have to figure out. I told my boss, you need to figure out what we're doing, because I said they're saying we owe $1,600 on this one invoice, and we have all these credits that are not valid according to anything that I can find. So, my whole thing is, well, let's tell them to take, some of these credits and apply it to that, because we know we already paid that, and that will at least help. So I set up everything and gave him an explanation, and I'm waiting for his, this is what I want you to do.
Gotcha. Of course, right then my
Now I
I
like doing that kind of stuff. I like finding, and solving those problems. I really do. The problem is, I could actually have everything that I needed if I could access our 6-year email folder, but I can't right now because, we always have either equipment problems or, access problems, and I don't know what they've done now. They're having to make us new access accounts to get into this folder. It's ridiculous. And
really,
they haven't done it. Well, we haven't had access to it since at least last fall. And so anything that goes back beyond like a year and a half is of my emails are in there, and I save every email that goes into the payments email address. I save, and they're in that folder, but I can't access them because none of us can get in there to do any searches to pull up the old emails.
Oh no,
that's crazy. And then, my cute buddy, she was sick yesterday. She's been sick. Pretty sick. Like, really hacking, and she sounds horrible. And she stayed home yesterday, and I thought, oh, maybe she'll sound better when she comes in Friday. Of course, I would have tried to stick it out on Thursday and called in on Friday. So you have a long, straight weekend, to kind of try to recuperate and medicate. She came in today. And if I don't end up sick, it's going to be a miracle. Because not only was she coughing and hacking and sneezing and blowing her nose, and then see, when I'm sick like that, actually, even if I sneeze or blow my nose at all, we all have hand sanitizer at our desk, right? So I don't even care if I just wipe my nose with a tissue. I sanitize my hands after that. Because we shuffle too much stuff that we all touch, right? And she was printing to my printer today, and so she's coming over and getting stuff off my printer and touching my papers, and I'm not going to say she doesn't wash her hands when she goes to the bathroom, but I can't be for certain that she does, because I've never really run into her in the bathroom. So I know she doesn't sanitize her hands at her desk, so
can't blame you.
You know what I mean?
Heck, every time I go out inside our building for all of our work and everything,
yeah,
first thing we do is wash our hands. I mean, granted, we're dealing with coal dust and everything else, but
right.
Still. First thing we do when we come on shift, Lysol the doors.
Well, we have lots of people that have allergies. Our building is, you've heard me complain. Our building is notorious for not being very well climate controlled, so most of us are cold most of the time. We're all either covering ourselves in blankets or wearing jackets or, something to try to keep us warm, because the AC's blowing in the middle of winter. And So you got people sneezing and coughing and everything. And I want to do my part to try to keep from spreading anything. Plus, I don't want to get people's stuff. I'm not a germaphobe or anything, but when I'm at work, I am all about trying to be as clean as possible so that, because we're all in this very compact, small space, because we're all in a cube farm, in a big open room, and I just, I don't want to get sick every time somebody in the office is sick.
Oh, I completely agree with you there. I mean, I've got one guy that shows up to work nonstop. He's always sick.
Yeah. I don't mind. I come to work sick. Don't get me wrong, but I take every precaution. I stay away from people. Well, except for maybe Eminem Mama, but I stay away from most people. I try not to talk in their face. Hi, Lisa. How are you? I try to be courteous, and I guess to me it's about just being courteous to other people, and some people just aren't.
Yeah, common courtesy isn't so common anymore.
Yeah, I was actually talking today to somebody who I don't usually get to talk to one-on-one very much, and she works on the other side of the office from me, right? So like usually the only amount of time I get to talk to her is at the very end of the day when I go to the bathroom, before I have to make that drive home, and I have no idea how long it might take me, is I go by her desk and I'll say, hey, do you want to take a walk down the hall? And she'll say, yes. And, that's pretty much like, 5 minutes. But today, she took her lunch with me, because Eminem Mama took off today. And I'm finding out that seems like a lot of people have the same frustrations. Guess that's everything.
It's kind of an issue that I've been finding just about everywhere.
Well, I think I've been calling it for some time, like too many cooks in the kitchen, right? We have almost, okay, so if you call our whole thing a department, right? And then you have areas within that department, right? Like accounting or, whatever. But there's not a ton of people in each one of those categories, right?
Yeah.
But every one of those sets has a manager that's underneath like the bigger boss, okay? Except for accounting. We have one boss. That boss reports directly to the person in charge of everyone in the office, okay? So we're kind of the exception to that in accounting. But everybody else seems to be having problems with their middle manager. And it's things like they're either, I don't know, I really want to use the word abuse, but they kind of are, in that they're taking their work, and instead of doing their work themselves, they're dumping it on the people under them, right? Whether they have one person or two people under them, because nobody has more than two under them. None of those middle managers have more than two people under them, okay? And then you have others that are like, well, I told you about the, you can't talk about certain things. What the hell,
Yeah.
Lisa said hi, YO.
Hi, Lisa.
and people are just getting aggravated. And what's worse is people are aggravated. People are going to start looking for jobs. Probably some of them are. And part of the frustration is you don't have anybody to go to talk. Like, I can go to my boss and I'll tell him anything, however off the wall I think of something. And I tell him, I don't care what you do with this information, I'm just giving it to you, or it's aggravating me, so I need to get it off my chest, or whatever. And he is wonderful in that he listens to me. Now, whether it goes any further than that, I have no clue. But it does make me feel better to get it off my chest, and at least the fact that he sits there and will listen to me, and he'll offer me, like, well, maybe you should try this, or, whatever, or maybe he doesn't have anything, or well, I'll look into that, or he'll, so I feel like you're being heard and listened to. The other people tend to not have that, and I can only imagine how much worse that is when you have, like, your direct boss that you are having an issue with. And so your only option really is, because if you go to them, you're afraid that, thank you, Lisa, you go to them and they're going to be mad at you, so they're going to take that out on you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you go to their boss, then they're still going to be mad at you because you're going over their head, because of course they're going to find out. So you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. And I really feel bad for them, because at least I have a boss that, however frustrated I get, I can go in there, I can close the door, and he'll listen to whatever idiocies I say. He might roll his eyes, he might not, he might laugh, whatever, but he'll at least listen and let me get it off my chest. Where the other people are not even, they're not even having that. And I don't understand how upper management, who received a bad survey a year and a half ago, said they were going to improve things, haven't improved things for people at the bottom level. I'm pretty sure they know that that's the case, but they're not doing anything to make it better. And I really don't understand the logic behind that. I mean, it's almost like everybody's in it for themselves. The problem is, we all have to work together for things to function with the way that the business is, right? If one section of that has any kind of, big hiccup in it, like, the process is not going to work. And so why wouldn't you want everybody to feel like a team and encourage them to work together to make everything better for everybody? I really don't understand the mentality behind that. But it seems to be what we have going on right now. That, and then you have, the few people who want to do as little as possible to get their paycheck. But even that, honest to goodness, is less aggravating to me right now than the fact that management has to know that there are issues, because they've been mentioned. They were put in a survey. We have verbalized it. I can't tell you how many things I wrote on my end of the year, like, here's my goals and plans. What things do you need, to make your job easier to do? All that. I put everything in there because we didn't have a survey, right? So I let it all loose in there, and I know my boss read it because he told me he did, and he read it the year before, and we addressed every single issue that I had. I mean, not that things got fixed, but he at least recognized that I had an issue, didn't disagree that there was a problem. The fact that he can't solve it isn't his fault, and I don't hold that against him, but it seems to me that upper management should be doing something for some of these problems anyway. Just even simple
Yeah,
problems like
that doesn't necessarily solve anything. Upper management getting involved either, though. I mean,
the problem is they have to. Like the things that need to be done, they're the ones that have to okay the decision. They have to make the decision to allow something to happen. That's the problem. That's really the problem. And then if you step up or escalate or whatever you want to call it, to try to get something done, like somebody could go to HR. There are some things that somebody could go to HR, cause a big stink, and then what's going to happen? HR will come over and investigate and find out that there's so many other things going wrong too, that all kinds of stuff will happen, and nobody really wants that to happen. Everybody, does want to keep their job at this point, right? Um,
yeah,
but I guess I just don't understand the mentality. When I took this job, which I had a different boss, but she left. I mean, her leaving was an indication that obviously, something was going on. Um, but I love the boss that I got. I was very happy he was the one that they hired and put in the position. But when I took the job, I told my boss then, I'm like, when I interviewed, I said, look, I'm not interested in climbing the corporate ladder. I'm not interested in getting promoted. I'm not interested in any of that. I want to find a place where I can not stress out, go in, do my job, do it to the best of my ability, collect my paycheck, go home and take care of my family. That's exactly what I want. I don't want all the BS, right? And in my particular job, I don't really have all that BS. My boss, is very good at saying no, you shouldn't waste your time on that. That's their problem, and I'm glad he's like that. However, everybody else is having problems, which causes me to have problems in anything that pertains to something that I have to wait out for them on, or you know.
yeah. I know the feeling. Our safety team at work decided they wanted better scores, so they implemented a required. Uh, so every week we got to put in a safety participation zone. What we did that shows that we're keeping our eyes on the safety and everything. Well, they
Mhm.
implemented a new system where every week you're assigned something
Right?
that you have to do, and if you do it, it's on a scale of 1 to 5. If you do it, you get a 2. Okay, it's
Okay.
just okay. So I filled out the paperwork. Big deal. If you're supposed to actually do something, you're supposed to get a rating higher than that, in accordance with whether or not it was actually an important deal. So, say you're supposed to review a safety document.
Right.
Okay, and then they got a bunch of questions. So you fill out the questionnaire that you just put in. Okay, I filled out the questionnaire, did this, and I'm done. Straight to. If you actually go in, you start asking questions, you try to learn more, or you find something on the questions that's not quite right that matches up, and you mention something like that, it should be a higher score. Well, I'm one that I require a bare minimum of 3 on all my stuff. I went looking back on this one. This guy, since they implemented this new program a couple months ago, has not given anybody
Okay,
over a
Lisa,
2.
have a good night. Sorry.
See you, Lisa.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So instead of doing something that's raising the scores, which for some people that were getting nothing but ones, it's helping them. But for those of us that are actually used to doing stuff and trying to strive
Right.
to actually have something other than just saying, hey, we did this, it's kind of ruining us. So my monthly goals got screwed up as a result, because my monthly
Right.
goal was to have nothing less than a 3. on all my safety participations. Well, this guy's done nothing but give everybody, regardless of their participation on this one style, nothing
Right.
but 2s. So it's completely an impossible goal.
Oh.
And it's all because safety just looks at it and says, oh, they did it, and give them a 2.
Yeah.
I was supposed to, talking about that reminded me that I was supposed to take and give him a call today and ask him why the heck he's just pencil whipping his job and expecting us not to.
Well, you know, I actually don't think I require a lot. I do expect people to go in and do their job. Like the one person I work with. Honest to goodness, I could care less if, you know, she walked 15 miles every day while she's getting paid, as long as if she doesn't get her stuff done, it doesn't affect me. I don't have to do extra work, right?
Mm-hmm.
I really don't care. I don't think it's fair, and I don't think it's right, but at the end of the day, it doesn't affect me in that I don't have to do any extra work because of it.
Yeah.
But when they're rushing, you know, when somebody is rushing because they're not actually doing their job properly, they're spending too much time goofing off, surfing the internet or shopping or, you know, whatever. And then it causes me problems because I have people coming to me all the time because they're making mistakes and they're looking for answers, and maybe that person, you know, either refuses to or doesn't know how to, you know, find the information. Then that's gonna make me irritated because, look, do your stuff right. You know, like I look my own problems up. When I make a mistake, I track down what happened and, you know, give them the information they need for it to be corrected. You should be able to also, right? If you know your job, you're supposed to be able to do that. But, you know, so many people, they're just not even willing to do their job.
Not the truth.
And I don't understand it. It takes so much more effort to sit there and try to look busy while you're goofing off. As opposed to actually just being busy doing your work. I mean, the day goes by so much faster when you do that. I don't know why people want to spend so much effort trying to look busy, and the day goes by super slow when if you've got a lot of work to do, just, you know, buckle down and do it. Make the day go by a whole hell of a lot faster.
Yeah. The whole cheating the system aspect, you know.
Just like my daughter, you know, like I told you, her friend had messaged her about going to the movies, and she's telling. I said, "What did she say?" When I actually said, "Yeah, I would take you out there," she's like, she was going, "FR, FR, FR." She was spamming my phone, "FR, FR." I'm like, "FR for real?" I'm like, "Oh my god, you can't even type that out, really? Really?" It's 2 flippin' words that will probably self-associate when you're texting, or, well, they probably weren't texting, they were probably on Snapchat or some stupid thing.
I was thinking fire resistant when you said FR.
Right? I was like, FR? Freaking rich? That sounds good. I like that. Freaking rich.
Heck yeah, I want to be that.
But, you know, like, and I looked at her and I said, man, what are you guys going to do when you're out in the world and you have to, like, write emails, coherent emails. Of course, then I think, well, I see all kinds of non-coherent emails that are not very grammatical and
They're
are
considered
spelled
normal.
spelled atrociously. So I guess they're going to fit right in, and we're going to not be fitting in at all.
Oh heck, I talk to people at work the same way we're sitting here talking right now, and I'm told that I have to dumb things down because they don't have an education. I'm like, it's not like I've got any big degree. I don't even have a bachelor's. It's just basic conversation. If they can't do that, they need to go back to school.
Well, exactly. That's
Maybe
crazy.
it's just me being rude, but
You know what? That's just it. Like, I am so sick and tired of people perceiving that you're rude because you expect manners and ethics and things that used to be required by everybody. And now,
oh
uh,
heck, I get in trouble for looking at a question and says, "Okay, where in this document does it hold it?" Well, it's not in the document. No, but we got it this place. You're taking it too literal. I'm like, it says it's right here in this document. It's not being too literal. It's telling you
if it's
exactly where it
there,
wants you
it
to
can't. You
look.
can't be too literal. I mean, if it's
Yeah,
typed out or written out, there's like,
I've
really?
been in a few discussions like that lately. Of course, evidently, the guy that I got into those discussions thinks I absolutely hate him, and really, I don't. He's getting annoying because
Right.
everything's too general. It's, well, we got it in the company. Well, no, it's not saying in the company on this or that. Or he
Well,
looks at things as a mechanic. Look at things as a engineer, since that's what I was brought up with, and so we bring up different ideas, exact same situations,
right.
and mine's just junk because I'm looking at it from an engineering point of view. Well, here's your options. Now pick the best one.
Exactly.
But he can't see that part. It's all, oh, well, I'm the mechanic. This is the way it's going to be, which is typical mechanic thinking.
Right.
Can't say much. Engineers do the exact same thing.
Well, my husband's way of thinking is very different than mine. I have a more of an analytical, logical thinking. That's why I'm naturally good at accounting, right? Where my husband is very much, I mean, he went to school for um, drafting, and mechanical drafting was his specialty, right? So his way of thinking is very different than mine, which is good in that it complements each other. Uh, but it can be aggravating sometimes because he'll say something. Sorry. I completely am like, what? What are you talking about? Because my brain doesn't operate that way. And uh but I do have to wonder about some bosses and like how they even get to where they're at, because I mean, don't get me wrong. They couldn't pay me enough, to be a boss. I don't want it. I don't want any company to own me. I don't, I'm fine with being able to, say, I'm at lunch. I'm clocked out. Yeah, you can't talk to me about work. You know?
Yeah, that would be nice from time to time. I don't get that option though.
Well, I'm hourly, so I do get that option. And
Well,
when
I'm
people come,
hourly, but we don't get lunch.
well, yeah, well,
We
we
do
get a
12
lunch
hours
that they don't,
straight.
well, they don't pay us anything for our lunch. So, I mean, it's literally, we clock out for an hour and then we clock back in. And,
Yeah, see, we don't have that option. We have to be there and able to react and do anything the full shift. There's only two of us.
But there's lots of times that Mama and I are at the lunch table, and somebody will come back there, and they'll start talking to her about work, and I'll look at her and go, "Are you guys really talking work while we're not on the clock?" And then and they're like, "Oh," like they don't ever think about the fact that, yeah, there are people that work hourly there, and yeah, we don't need to talk about that. Well, speak of the devil, there she is. Is your dinner over? Wyo and I have just been talking about work. Uh-oh. Was it that bad? Oh, she's trying to type too fast. It must have been. Well, I opted to take Samantha out to Arnold for a movie, so I dropped her off to... No, I didn't drink anything. Oh, okay. I took her out to Arnold, and I don't know, her friend was supposed to set her up with some boy. So I went and dropped her off, and I probably have to go pick her up in about a half hour or so. Which is why I'm not doing the Volpera quest line right now.
Boo.
I know, but I didn't want to get in the middle of it. I don't know, it might be better if I just record it and then upload it.
Yeah, I should have done that. Especially with all the how-to videos I'm starting to do.
I really liked your first video.
Thank you. Got the second one recorded. I just need to do some editing. Then I need to record the third one because I'm not going to be... My kids are coming for their spring break.
Well, yeah, when
so I'm doing Streamlabs for my recording and Lightworks for my editing. But my kids, I'm picking them up 1 week from tomorrow.
And how long do you have them for? A week?
Yeah. So I'll be picking them up on a Saturday. Sunday, we're going to go to a basketball tournament. Watch probably at least a couple of games there. And then it sounds like several people might be going out to my parents' cabin, so we might go out there and join them.
Did you take off that week?
Yeah. Took off a couple of days. I had the week off from Friday on. Starting next week, so my standard week off rotation, it just worked out perfectly this time around, where I only had to take a couple days off to make sure I could get the kids back to their mom.
Well, that's good. Eminem Mama said, "Hi Yo, great video, thumbs up."
Thank you, Eminem Mama.
She was upset that she was number 2 because I beat her to it.
Oh yeah.
Thumbs up in it, yeah.
I'm kind of surprised it's already had 10 views.
Well, I sent Maria over there to subscribe to you, so she may have let it play too. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of surprised that it's first video for the channel altogether, and it's got 10 within a week.
Yeah, that is actually really good considering you haven't done anything to advertise it.
None whatsoever, but I did put it under a how-to tab.
Well, it is a how-to.
That's going to bring it up a little bit more. So that's the only thing I can think of.
All right, so
Although
I'm
gonna have to be
interested to
careful with my
hear.
name.
Can you tell me anything? Was there a fight? Was there a fight at the dinner, or was it just really expensive? Where did you end up? Did you end up where you said? Because now I can't remember where you said you were going. No fight, pretty expensive, Bishop's Post. Is that the name of the place? I never heard of that. Did you happen to see? I happened to see this today. Uh, Archbishop Carlson put out a, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, a letter stating about uh, not offering the chalice at masses and reminding people to take the host in the hand and not encouraging people to not have physical contact during the sign of peace right now. I sat on the corner of the table so I didn't hear everything. Oh, well, that's a shame. You needed to be right there front and center. What the heck? Let's see. Corner of the table. How much fun can you have at the corner of the table? Why don't I have a Dalaran Hearthstone on this character? This character is 120. How do I not have a Dalaran Hearthstone? Did I never go there? That's not possible. I guess it is possible. Wow. Wow is all I can say to that. Interesting people were a no-show, so no drama. Really? The dogs are being so good tonight. I don't know what is going on. Maybe it's Samantha that makes them wild. They're all just laying around. Like Sky was up in the chair. Now she's all stretched out on the floor. Lemon's curled up in my lap and Gizmo's on the hassock.
Oh dang, some of these mining bags and stuff are going for 18,000 for a 36 slot bag.
That's because it's
or a titanium box for 20,000.
People are price gougers. They just are in the game just like they are in real life. It's ridiculous. If people didn't pay that, they wouldn't be able to charge that price. Full moon Monday, so the dogs are resting up for it. Oh, is that what it is? I don't know. Last night, Sky was pretty rambunctious. They were still playing when I fell asleep. But they were doing it in the other room, so I wasn't sure what kind of catastrophe I was going to wake up to.
Holy crap, somebody's really an idiot.
Uh-oh.
463,000 gold for a 30 slot deep sea bag that's going for 105.
What? You know what though? Sometimes idiots do that though. Like if it's the last one and they got the money and they don't care. I mean, who has an extra 400,000 gold laying around? But I mean, some people might, if all they do in the game is,
bought a bunch of stuff. like mounts.
Right, and sold it for higher. Or
$2 million.
pets. Or pets. Taking them to another server and sold them for a higher price. There's a lot of... There's people that make really good gold doing that.
Yeah.
Since you can, learn them and then cage them on a different server.
Yep.
I'm surprised they allow it, but, I guess it's a back door to let people who figure that out to be able, to... It is a quick way to earn money on servers when you're starting out on them. So I guess it does help. I mean, I can remember starting tunes on new servers and I couldn't even afford to repair my stuff. But, I had hundreds of thousands of gold on, other servers, but I couldn't donate it, I still don't understand why. I don't understand. I understand why they don't want gold going cross server among strangers. And by strangers, I mean like characters that are not on the same account. But why they don't let us trade our gold to any character we have, like why our gold isn't account bound, I don't understand.
They probably don't want any one server getting way too much.
But I don't think that really would affect that.
No clue.
Because if you really want to move, well, I guess now I'm answering my own question. Because I know why. Because if you really want to move that money, you can get a server transfer with the money. And if you need to transfer more, you can do it. You can make a guild and put a ton of money in that bank and server transfer, and you'll have a lot of gold. So I guess I just answered my own damn question.
Pretty much, yeah.
Hush.
Good work.
I know, right? Ask and answered. Pat myself on the back. Well, a video about earning and spending gold would be a good idea since it sounds Greek to me. Yeah. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, that's not on my end. I get all mine mostly just from doing quests and stuff. And
I lost a quest. Why in the world is it saying that? Okay, abandoned quest. Okay, now I got to make it up. There's actually a ton of things we could do WoW videos on. Unfortunately, in order for me to play the game and make my true crime videos and make WoW videos, I have to get better. I have to get better at the video making so that it can go faster. Because my time is very limited unless somebody wants to help me become independently wealthy. Because my husband seems to not be doing a very good job of winning the lottery.
Well, heck, I put up on my Facebook inviting in 3 million people to send me $1.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm gonna guess you realized that was me when I.
Yeah.
It was funny because
the first one to respond by laughing at
it. It must have pulled your phone number. I mean, because of our, my phone contacts. I think that's why it pulled it. It was like right there. You were the first one. I was like, oh, okay. I hope that's him.
It worked out.
Yeah, it did. But I do want to get better at making the videos. I also need to. I need to make some. Well, I want to make an animation for the beginning of my videos, like with my logo and stuff. I could pay to have somebody do that. Like I paid to have somebody do my banner and icon because I didn't have time to mess with it. But I kind of want to try to do it. So I'm debating on whether or not to spend money to have one right now and then change it when I can make my own or what, because I have all these videos I want to make. There's so many videos people have asked me to do, and I can't do them all. However, if my husband would just win the lottery, I've already decided I'm going to have 3 employees, and I'd have all the time in the world to make these videos, right? It'd be wonderful.
Wouldn't it, though?
Mm-hmm. It's just not working out that way. I love this Pepe Bobber. His freaking eyes move and everything. Like, awesome. Yeah, Eminem Mama wants all these videos about WoW. She has no intention of playing, but she wants to learn what we're talking about.
Well, then my how-to and starting in the different areas and everything will go out quite well that I'm working on.
Hurry up on that lottery. I know, right? Maria's probably thinking the same thing. Yeah, YO might be too. Because, see, it's perfect. Lori will help me do the research, and Maria will be my marketing person, and you'll be my WoW companion to play the game with.
Yeah, when I'm around.
No, that's why
I can't work.
That's why I hire you.
Oh, yeah, well, I'll definitely do it as a job, that's for sure. Man, me doing this 8 hours a day again, that would be different. It's been so long
But it
since I've
wouldn't have to
done this
be 8
for
hours straight a
6
day.
hours.
That's just it. Like whatever we were working
Well,
on.
when you think you're making videos and everything else like that, plus you're editing and whatnot.
But see, then I also have
takes quite a
3
bit of
other
time.
people's eyes to go, okay, I would do that color instead of that color, or no, that doesn't look good. Was it a bad day today for who? I had a lot of conversation, I'll tell you that. I can't tell you on here, but I found out some very interesting information. I wouldn't say my day was bad, but my cohort was there, sick as a dog, sneezing and coughing, and printing stuff to my printer and putting her mitts all over with unsanitized hands. So I'm a little concerned about that. I am teasing again, but you told me to gather information. Well, no, it's not like that, but I did find out some interesting things. And that person's kind of had enough, so there will be a conversation with an upper person. I will share. I hope my husband ordered that meal for Troy. I need to ask him. I wonder if he sent me the confirmation. That would have been smarter on his part. Are we talking about... Yes. Yes, we are. I found out, one thing I found out is exactly how a big boss person hears everything that goes on in the world. I was a little surprised. It's through the ductwork. Evidently, it echoes right into his office. And that came from that horse's mouth to the other person. Oh, I'm still fishing and I'm done. And actually out in the open too. But that's also how everything from the conference room is heard. Yeah, if we're loud enough, evidently it comes through the whole place. Did I not have Dark Moon Fair? Um, oh, I need moonberry juice. Do they have moonberry juice on this one? I can't remember. I think it's the next one. No, where's the innkeeper? I thought it was one of these. Maybe it's this one. No, it's this one. There's the moonberry juice. Sounds interesting. Let's see how this one sounds.
So you might see a big change in my lineup here
What lineup?
for my tunes.
Why? They're all going Volpera?
Not all of them.
Oh.
Several.
You're doing,
Not all.
are you doing race changes, really?
No.
Oh.
I just had a couple that weren't exactly leveled up, so I restarted them as Volpera.
I have every intention of making a Volpera hunter. I bet that'll look
I'm changing my warrior into Volpera now.
That's what my warrior's gonna be. Then we can have a DPS race.
Oh, I thought we were gonna do that anyways because I'm doing a rogue that I'm running with you.
You're gonna run with my rogue? I thought you started it. Oh yeah, with my warrior. Oh, but that's not a equal. I didn't mean like leveling. I meant like once we're leveled, you know. This is not that great. Let's see what this is. I feel like I should leave and go to pick her up.
She hasn't contacted you yet, right?
I know, but I don't trust her to call me right away either. And I instructed her not to leave the building, but I don't know that I trust her to not. I don't think she would, but you know, she is a teenager, so there's always the possibility that temptation takes the best of her.
True.
And if I left now, I'd be there. Well, I think I'd still be there after the movie's over. Busy fair drinks, I think that's what I need. Plus, I have to take Sky out to go to the bathroom before I get her in the car because that's the only way that I can go without having to lock him up. And tomorrow I have to shop for her a new cage so Lemon can have his cage back, because evidently Lemon is trying to assert himself. And today my husband had to drag him out of the cage so that he could lock her in it when he left, because I mean he could leave them both in there, but there's not enough room and Lemon would get squashed to death. So he knows better than to leave that happen. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna have to end this stream so I can and evidently I have to restart that. So thank you everybody for coming, and I will either do another live with the Volpera storyline, or I will just do a recording and upload it later. That's Lemon's room. I told you. I know. I'm ordering her cage this weekend. And so tomorrow, 10 o'clock, tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock, we will have our true crime discussion. Maria and I should be interesting. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. Thumbs up if you don't mind. That helps us a lot get the push out. And please share this live stream with anybody you can, or on your social media. And we will see you next time. Have a wonderful weekend. Peace.